Unless your slice of the internet doesn't include FPS news, you've likely heard some of the noise surrounding Ubisoft's recent release, XDefiant. As usual, when it comes to the internet, some of this feedback is reasonable and valid, while others, not so much. Let's take a few minutes to talk about what I think is a troubling trend in media and games, then cover what could be changed to improve XDefiant overall, while maintaining its creative vision. This phenomenon is rather troubling, and I don't think it's hyperbole to say that it threatens the integrity of the entire industry unless we come to terms with it sooner rather than later. Here it is. Universality. What I mean when I say universality is this idea that somehow every game needs to be accessible and appeal to every single gamer. Historically, we've seen this pop up every time a new FromSoft title releases, or when a developer leans into their vision of design, which appeals to specific niche gamers. I'm looking at you here, Gran Turismo, Football Manager, Undertale, Manor Lord, Civ, the list goes on. I primarily play difficult games, with shooters and random shiny things thrown in based on what seems cool at the time. Souls-like and spectacle fighters are my jam. I have an embarrassing amount of hours in CS 1.6, Source, Halo, COD, and Battlefield throughout the years, and we don't talk about the playtime on my WoW or EVE accounts. My Steam account can drink. None of this means I'm more qualified or have better opinions than someone else, but it does establish some background here, and that I've seen the broader movement of the gaming space over time. Also, I have advanced degrees in noticing shit, so maybe that counts for something. Now, all those games I mentioned are pretty niche in their own way, and genres like RTS, 4X, etc. are pretty lost on me. I have zero interest there. Child of the 90s, don't have the attention span, perhaps. Now, this doesn't mean those games are bad, poorly made, or somehow failing to be successful just because I don't vibe with them. I'm pretty sure suggesting that would have Civ fans showing up at my door with torches and pitchforks, provided they're able to get away from having just one more round first. Here's the thing. Everyone has their cool thing. I'm pretty sure my brother is on his 87th AC Odyssey playthrough, and I couldn't finish the first one. Subsequently, devs need to be allowed to make things they think are cool for people who enjoy that cool thing. You having a cool thing doesn't take away from my ability to enjoy my cool thing. For the XDefiant devs, a shooter that nods to the COD of old, but has an identity of its own, is that cool thing. It doesn't have to be for everyone. You want SBMM balanced lobbies, drop shots, Warzone, and the flowy COD feel? Cool! I'm stoked you know what you like. Go play COD. XDefiant may not be what you resonate with, and that's okay. At the end of the day, not every game is for every player. Tastes and times change. That's okay too. If you know what you like, but the devs of your cool thing are taking it in places you're not sure about, make it known. Worst case scenario, vote with your wallet and your time. At the same time though, if you're changing the flavor of cool thing because you like the genre, embrace that new flavor. You don't get to buy Rocky Road and then be cranky that it doesn't taste like Moose Tracks, all the while demanding that the factory that makes Rocky Road change the recipe to taste more like Moose Tracks. Okay, I'm putting the soapbox away now. Here's some things I think XDefiant could look into, which, in my opinion, could improve the overall health of the game, while staying true to their artistic vision and having another cool thing exist in the genre. First, netcode. I'm not sure how much of this is correlated with the sheer gravity of the player base surrounding launch. Last numbers I'd seen were 8 million unique players within the first week, whereas internal goals were benchmarked at 5 million unique players within the first month. I feel like asking servers to handle 1.6x the peak anticipated load is a heavy lift, no matter how you look at it. And some of the general weirdness with hit reg and dying around corners may be related here. I mean, it's not like you can download more RAM, and I doubt the accountants would somehow approve extra servers immediately on a whim. That said, bullets not registering consistently, especially while your target is jumping, more on that later, and some pretty egregious round-the-corner deaths are not okay for a mainstream multiplayer shooter in 2024. I think we can all agree on that, and agree that inconsistency of experience feels awful as a player, since it adds another variable as to why you won or lost that gunfight. Which of you earned that kill? Who knows? Netcode's wobbly. Good news here is, devs are aware of this, looking into improvements. This is a wait-and-see kind of thing for me. 2. Movement. Look, I love me some movement demon games. Tribes 2 and both Titanfalls were great. Hell, I didn't even hate Advanced Warfare. The problem with XDefiant, I think, is a couple things. First, and this is a matter of opinion, so grain of salt, having a majority of players I encounter spending what feels like equal time airborne and on the ground while changing direction mid-air like they're Iron Man doesn't really seem to fit with the feel and playstyle of the game. It's like if you went to the theater to see Dune, but midway through the film, Optimus Prime suddenly Kool-Aid manned his way out of a worm and Falcon punched the Baron. You know, it's still cool, but kind of weird and doesn't match the tone of the rest of the movie, right? Check out this clip. I mean, I can't be alone in thinking this is not cool, right? To be fair here, a good portion of why this feels so dominant or necessary may be related to the inconsistencies of netcode and hitreg that I've mentioned before. I'm reminded of some older titles where the hitbox and animation for jumping didn't align quite right, and the connection couldn't consistently keep up with where the hitbox actually was, which produced situations similar to what we're seeing now, where you fire into an enemy, dispersion's your friend, your reticle's on point, and it still seems like a good chunk of your shots just don't seem to connect. Now, the devs have said more dynamic movement is intended, but they will be looking into ways to balance B-hopping, such as increased bloom regardless of ADS while you're jumping. I suspect this will take some time to get right and to find the happy medium here. Too much adjustment in either direction brings us back to the Rocky Road X Moose Tracks problem. This one's also a wait and see for me. 3. Sniper flinch. I hesitate to include this one, because depending on when you're watching this, the problem may no longer exist. Devs have already said they're planning to fix, tweak, or add flinch to scoped weapons, so you shouldn't get one-tapped by the sniper you're mag dumping into anymore. Good change, in my opinion. 4. XP curves for individual weapons and the subjective feel of the grind aren't great. On one hand, weapons are the main grind in the game right now, although there's been some recent mention of prestige and a few other cool things potentially coming down the pike. I think we need to remember here the game is free to play. Grind is inherently a bit more pronounced in free-to-play titles, and the reality here is that the game must be profitable and worth investing in for Ubisoft to keep it online. Last time I checked, Ubisoft's not a non-profit, so expect some monetization here. Your individual tolerance for what constitutes acceptable monetization is up to you. For me, so long as it's restricted to cosmetics or pay-to-accelerate mechanics without any pay-to-win aspects, I can choose to be fine with that. Now for a lightning round of dishonorable mentions that I've seen circulating since launch. Matchmaking and this weird clamoring for SBMM in unranked modes. Just stop. Just stop. Everyone has been going on about how SBMM is the worst thing ever. It happened to COD for years now, ever since Modern Warfare 2019. Like y'all got amnesia here, or realized SBMM was protecting you, but you lack the conviction to say so out loud. Not every game needs SBMM, just like not every game needs to have a BR mode. Just like Dark Souls, XDefiant is showing you that you need to rethink some things, change your mindset and habits. Frankly, get good. Want a more structured matchmaking system in XDefiant? Play ranked. Weapon, class, and ability balancing. I'm of the opinion this will sort itself out in payroll, as things get balance patches over time. Players who prioritize setups for kills and aren't named Shroud are gonna lose matches, even though they dropped a 90-kill game. People generally don't like losing, so some basic behavior shaping should occur naturally here. This could be helped along by tweaking or increasing some objective-based XP rewards and how they apply to the main grind of the game. Maybe increasing captures and defends towards weapon XP could be the play here. Overall, what do you think? Are games losing their uniqueness trying to court the broadest audience? Or do you think devs are just out of touch with what the market wants? Maybe you think we've just gotten used to how games have shifted more towards this live service hellscape we're in, and have kind of forgotten about what they were before or could be now. Either way, let me know down in the comments and tell us what you think the #1 issue facing XDefiant is right now. I've been BaldSquid. See you next time.